Brodes Media.
So the 76ers select Jared McCain at 16 from Duke. My instant reaction was, I like the move. I don't think it's a bad move. Was it my favorite considering Connect was available? No, I would have leaned Connect from Tennessee. Older, 23 years old, averaged about 22 points per game. I like what he brings more than McCain. With that said, I don't even know if who they select is going to be here. I think it's all part of the bigger plan so Daryl Morey can make a splash in a trade. And the reason they lean towards the rookie coming out of Duke with a skill set of shooting is because there's more flexibility and versatility in that when you pick up the phone trying to see what he can get back in town. The kid can actually shoot the basketball at an insanely effective clip. He shot over 50% from three in the NCAA tournament. He dropped 30-plus points against NC State and against JMU. And he had a huge 30-plus point effort in the regular season on the road against Florida State. And he's doing this on high-volume shooting as well. 8 attempts from behind the arc per game in the big dance. And he shot in the regular season 41% from distance. So he could do it. And there's been so many damn prospects over the years and a ton of different draft picks that we had to wonder if they knew how to keep their elbow in. We had to rework the shots. Yeah, but if they learn how to shoot, no. This isn't a if they learn how to shoot thing. He could shoot. But I guess, considering I don't really know if the end goal is him to be on this team, how much I should invest emotionally in the kid. I love his personality. He's a Tyrese Maxey type, and I think that's actually going to help him because, unfortunately, there will be douchebags in this city that are going to write him off just because they see what he does on social media and they see what he does with his nails and how he paints them. Look, I don't care what he does on TikTok. I don't care if he dances with his teammates. I don't care if he paints his nails. I want him to shoot the ball well and provide a spark for this team, bring the work ethic, be a good teammate, be a good Samaritan in the city, and there's no doubt that I believe that that's the type of kid he is. But the fact that we already have a smiley, energetic kid in town, I think it makes it easier for him because it could almost be the duo. The Bash brothers from Mighty Ducks, except the complete opposite. Those two were hardo goons that would beat up people. These two are the smiley, goofy, young, energetic, spunky kids. So there are going to be some to write him off instantly and to have their jokes or whatever, but I think that he can bring an element to this team that they need in shooting. The ceiling is probably capped because of his size. And I do wonder how we can project him and Maxey to be on the floor together. Defensively, that could be an issue, regardless on how hard he works, because I hear that a lot lately over the last, hour of reading up on the experts and what they're saying about, maybe his defense isn't going to be as bad, even though the size is what the size is. He can really battle and he's willing. Yeah, that's great. Maxey's willing, and Maxey has huge deficiencies defensively, so that can only get you so far. But to McCain's credit, I do think his floor is super high. I think he could be a really good sixth man, a really good secondary guard, and blossom into that. Once again, if he's even here. Think Fred VanVleet. Could he be Fred VanVleet as a smaller guard? I'm just spitballing. Seth Curry is another name that was thrown around town as an example. They have their deficiencies, but if you can go lights out like Seth can go lights out, Seth's problem was he just could never stay healthy. It's an ankle, it's this, it's the other. And maybe that's a part of being small, getting beat up, getting banged up when you're playing grown men Your body can only handle so much over the long run? Maybe. Maybe. But it's the 16th pick in a really weak draft. Just from that general angle, I don't hate the pick. So, McCain spoke and said, I'm just excited to get to know them and learn as much as possible from them in regards to Joel Embiid and Tyrese Maxey. I'm waiting for Daryl Morey to speak. Looks like he's getting to the podium right now. We had McCain as a top 10 player in this draft. That was Daryl Morey on the 16th pick. Of course he's going to say that. We were looking at a lot of scenarios with a trade out, a trade back, and that all went away when Jared McCain was there. If you can get a player who is hopefully rotation ready at a very young age, we really think this guy is going to be a 76er for a long time. I'm smiling inside because, well, that's what Daryl Morey is supposed to say right now. So when there's phone calls being made, he leverages it by saying, dude, you got to realize that we want this kid. So the fact that we're willing to put him in a package to go get player X, Y, and Z, we value him tremendously, and we want him here. The fact that we're putting him in the deal is massive, and you have to understand that. So this is part of the Daryl Morey long-term plan with them. But let's not be completely fooled here, too. Like, there is an angle where if they can't get a trade done, would they be pissed to have to live with the Jared McCain experience? No, absolutely not. But the current state of the franchise, especially after the Knicks managed to pull off what they pulled off, I don't know if you could survive without trying to grab a Paul George, trying to grab a Jimmy Butler, trying to grab even a Brandon Ingram of all players. I don't love any of this. I really don't. I don't love any of these names. But reality is, you can't sit back and just take this path of McCain and Maxey as young kids, because if that's the case, then you do have to trade Joel Embiid. Then you have to change your entire timeline and really sink into, we have to change our entire philosophy and build this structure differently. That's what you'd have to do. And they're not going to do that because it's so hard to find a top 5 talent in this league. And when you have it, you have to do everything in your power to try and surround him. And with the best available person on the trade block / market this year, unfortunately, that player might not be good enough. And I don't really want to get into this front, but reality is, it constantly keeps getting thrown back in my face. Just the Daryl Morey front. Daryl Morey's a joke. Daryl Morey's a bum. Daryl Morey is stupid. I'm going to lay 2 things out for you right now. If I gave you 2 options and you have to choose one of these options, which one is closer to reality? Daryl Morey screwed the Sixers up, and when he came here, he pissed it all away. So that's option number 1. Or option number 2, Daryl Morey is a good president of basketball operations, but the Sixers were so fucked up when he got here that even a good president of basketball operations in the NBA couldn't nail it down. What is closer to reality? Because to me, it's the latter, and it's not even close. Now, that doesn't give him a free pass, all right? There's been things that I wish he did differently, but this is what I can't get behind. The ones that look at the move of trading Ben for Harden instead of Ben for Halliburton and saying that's why he's a bum. I've been around this town for a long time, okay? I've seen a lot of different angles of criticism towards a lot of different general managers in this city. I guarantee that if Daryl Morey traded Ben Simmons for Halliburton, and they're still stuck because Halliburton is a good player. He's not what you think he is. So if they were to make that trade, which I don't even know if it was fully actually available, but hypothetically for a second, let's say it is, and it was, and they bring in Halliburton, and you're out in the second round and you lose to the Knicks. Okay? Now, all of a sudden, these same people who think Daryl Morey is a bum, now he's not? Now he's not? No. You'd be saying he's an idiot. You'd be saying he's a fool. That one trade with the same result is going to change your perception of him? No, it's not.